Hello and welcome to Simply Serendipity's Winter Wellness Affair, shall we say. So, Laura Erdman-Lutz here, and I will be with you for the entire evening sharing this information with you. We're going to start off now with tip number 1, and this one is support a healthy pH balance in your body. So, have you ever heard about how we want to be alkaline and not acidic, and how an acidity in the body is not a good thing? That's what we're going to be talking about. If you've ever seen the movie Finding Nemo, do you remember when the dentist found Nemo in the water and brought it to his dentist's office and put it in the aquarium? And then the fish in the aquarium jammed the filter. And once the filter was jammed, the water got kind of mucky and murky and gross, and algae started to grow and muck started to form. Muck, I think, is an official word for it. Anyway, it became unhealthy. It was an unhealthy environment for the animals, and they started to get sick. Our bodies are actually very similar. Okay, so we have a very similar delicate balance inside the body, and we want it to stay clean and beautiful, because when it does, and this is really important, when our body is in that clean, beautiful state, it's much harder for germs to take hold, for illness or sickness to take hold in our bodies. So we always have germs. We always have some sort of illness that goes around in our bodies at any one time, right? We're exposed to them all the time, and it's just whether or not they take hold. And if your system is really clean and beautiful, it doesn't take hold. So we do a lot of things, though, that muck up our system, okay? And we know what our system is like, whether it's clean and beautiful or mucked up, by our pH. So the pH in our body needs to be about, I believe it's 7.2 or so. So it's a little bit on the alkaline side. And when we're acidic, that's when we start to get all mucky. Now, the things that cause acidity in our life are unfortunately things we're exposed to all the time. So if you eat alcohol, sugar, meat, dairy, over-processed foods, if you are exposed to toxins, which we are in our home, we've talked about that a lot here at Simply Serendipity, toxins in the air, in the food we eat, if you experience stress, all of these things create an acidic environment inside of our body, which begins to overload and jam our body's filters. So our own filter system is called the lymph system, and includes the kidney and the liver and the lymph system, which is basically the garbage disposal. It's almost like a sewer system, right? And so it allows everything to move out through the body. But those things get mucked up when we are acidic. And instead of getting overtaken by algae, we get overtaken by yeast and by viruses and bacteria and all sorts of yuck. And we also feel yucky. You can actually Google symptoms of overacidity. It's actually rather interesting. So there are a lot of things you'll probably resonate with on, in the short term: grogginess, brain fog, stuffy noses. But once it becomes chronic and you've been acidic for a long time, physical ramifications become more serious and chronic. And when we're talking about the immune system, what we need to first talk about is keeping this filter clean. It's really like the baseline for health. So this is something you're going to want to think about as you're just working on any kind of health issues or anything, is supporting that baseline in our body. Okay. So, yeah, our pH should be more 7.4, and you can actually measure it. You can get litmus strips at the drugstore. They're super cheap, or Amazon, I'm sure. It's like $100 for $5 kind of thing. And if there's saliva ones and pee sticks, so you can go either way, either up or down. I think the pee sticks are more accurate. I know I use the one in my mouth, and you just do it first thing in the morning before you drink or brush your teeth or anything, and you can see where your own personal pH is. So our goal is to move more towards alkalinity. And one of the first things you can do is just Google alkaline foods, an alkaline diet. Hey, Katie. And just, if you Google it, you can get a whole list of alkaline foods, and just start incorporating alkaline foods into your diet and getting rid of some of the acidic. We are now moving into, as of this recording, we're moving into Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, right into Valentine's Day. This is the most acidic diet period of the entire year. Not to mention all the stress that often goes along with the holidays. So if you're ever going to be acidic, now is the time. So I definitely recommend starting to incorporate the things that I'm going to be talking about here. So let's talk about what it is you can do, some of the products you can incorporate. Hopefully you have the handouts. We're going to go through some of these products you can incorporate. The first one I recommend is alkaline, okay? Alkaline is a product that's specifically designed to create an alkaline state inside your body. It is a drink. I was actually going to do a glass of water to show you because it's kind of fun. It's a little bit like Alka-Seltzer. It begins to foam up. It's really yummy. It tastes delicious. It tastes like a lime or lemonade. It's really yummy. I tell you what, I use alkaline regularly right before bed. Good time to use is right before bed. I use it regularly during times of stress just to help with that acidity. And if I'm traveling, because traveling tends to be a stressful time and we definitely tend to go towards acidity when we're traveling. It's just a teaspoon in, I think, 8 ounces of water. Oh, it says 4 to 6 ounces. I usually do a full glass because it's strong and it's really, really yummy. So that's the first thing I would recommend. The other thing I would recommend is Ningxia Red. Now, y'all, Ningxia Red is going to come up again and again. On the graphic is the bottle. This is the little 2-ounce package. Ningxia Red is, I think it's almost every tip as we go through this evening. It's really the one thing, one of my teasers was for tonight is to share with you the one thing you could do. If you're only thinking, I can only handle one thing, don't only give me one thing, this is it. The high level of antioxidants in here helps keep that body's pH system, okay? So what it does, the antioxidants eat free radicals in the body, and the free radicals are formed from that acidic body. So this is a really good thing to do for your body. The next one is mineral essence. Okay, this is one of those supplements. I think I had 4 total that made such a difference with fatigue for me. Okay, this is amazing. Okay, so first let me tell you about it and how it affects the antioxidants. It has a complex, balanced complex mix of essential oils and trace minerals. So if you're not familiar with trace minerals are what we used to get from our soil. Are really nutritive soil. It would embed in the fruits and vegetables that we ate from that soil. And that's how we would get our trace minerals. Well, our soil is pretty darn depleted now, so we don't get those anymore. We still have some of them in the sea, which is why we want to eat sea vegetables, seaweed, that sort of thing is really good for us because of the trace minerals. The other thing we need minerals for is to process our vitamins. So if you don't have these trace minerals, the multis you're taking aren't going to process as well in the body. So this is really, really helpful. It also supports the immune system, etc. It is great for creating that alkaline base in the body. I do about 2 dropperfuls a day. I'm not going to sugarcoat this, you guys. It tastes terrible. I have what I call it the mineral essence face. When I take it, it's a good one, isn't it? My kids, when I'm making it, they say mineral essence. It's really funny. So anyway, so mineral essence is a great one to take to add, and it affected my energy. And what I discovered was probably why it affected my energy right away was because because of the minerals, my body was able to process the nutrients much better. So my body was getting more of the nutrients that I was eating. So that is another good one to use. And then I will also add that Cortistop, and I don't have Cortistop with me. Cortistop is great for breaking. Stress definitely creates acidity in the body, okay? What happens when we get into a stress cycle is you get really wound, and then you start to release cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. But what happens is it's hard for the body to break the cortisol cycle. So you get wound and you've got cortisol, so you're kind of up here. And then a little thing happens, it makes a little bit more wound, and a little bit more wound, a little bit more wound, and you get this cortisol cycle. If you find that you have a really hard time relaxing, you've begun to gain weight around the middle, that's often a sign that you're in that cortisol cycle. And it creates an enormous amount of acidity. Stress does. So Cortistop can help with that, helps support the body in its natural rebalancing from that. So I definitely recommend it. It's not something to be taken all the time. It's just, there's a Cortistop protocol. It's I think 2 weeks. You can read the directions on it. You do 2 weeks and then you stop. Okay, I want to share one more with you before we finish this one. This one comes in the starter kit. So for those of you who haven't begun yet, this is a great place to start with creating alkaline environment inside your body, and that is lemon oil. Okay, lemon vitality. You can put a drop or two in your water and drink it. It's delicious. You can add it to your Ningxia Red. Here's the thing about lemons, okay? They may be, lemons in general, when they process in the body, even though they are acidic, when they process in the body, it creates an alkaline environment. The beauty of oil versus using lemon juice is the oil itself is alkaline, so it doesn't affect your teeth. So if you're drinking lemon juice, it can affect your teeth after a while. Lemon oil does not. Okay guys, so take a second and think about what would you like to add. I definitely recommend something. If you Google alkaline foods, adding Ningxia Red, adding lemon oil, those would probably be the first 3 things I would begin. If you are low energy or you know you're experiencing a lot of stress, chronic stress in particular, I would definitely consider a mineral essence or Cortistop for sure. All right, I'm gonna hop off. I will be right back with our next episode. Feel free to comment below, ask questions. We have a lot of builders that are watching that can help you answer all of your questions. I will be right back in about 2 minutes or so. And the next video, we are going to be talking about gut health. And y'all, this is so important for so many reasons I will share with you in the next video.